and it is an honor to dance Mr. Ailey's Cry. These past, what has it been, 5 weeks?
Oh yeah.
Have been amazing, because I think that's the most we've ever had the chance to explore this dance. Because I know for me, when Miss Judah Jamison is in the room, or in our case on Zoom, I definitely get a little timid, you know, and it's like, oh, you want to do each step perfect, and then of course at the same time she wants to see what the story is, and it's like, oh, but I'm still trying to get my story together. But I loved it when she said, look, I'll let you know when you're doing too much. I want to see it, you know.
I get a little timid just by knowing that she's going to be in rehearsal on Zoom. But then you realize, you're like, oh, she has all this information. You're just like a sponge, like, give it all to me. Even still, and we've been doing it for a couple years now.
Yeah.
And it's still like, it's always a newness to it.
Exactly.
And she always sees a newness in it, because we're like more mature than the last time we've done it. And
have new experiences too. Yeah. And it's so funny because she's so great with details, with the music. She doesn't miss anything, you know, as far as details, even from your pinky down to your toe, you know.
And it's so interesting because, you know, of course we see the steps and we want to learn the steps.
Exactly.
But it's literally called crying. So that already puts an emotion on it, right? And that means it's a story behind it. So you have to have a story as the artist. But what I love is, like, Miss Jamison will watch us and be like, no, Jackie, I want you to do it this way, and Constance, I want you to do it that way, because it's right from your body, and your story, and your artist, you know, which I love. You know, that's like true definition of coaching right there.
Yeah. And it's amazing because with this dance, you know, we're dancers, right? But you can't really go into this piece, I feel, just as a dancer, because then it doesn't come across as authentic as it needs to be. And I think during this process, as much as I thought I was emoting and telling a story, there were little things, and it was always like the preparations into like a turn or something, where she'd be like, I saw that coming. I saw the preparation, and that really made you think of it more as, you know, in a human aspect, you know, and not so much as a dancer.
Yeah.
Because in the end, with it being for Black women, especially mothers everywhere, that's the main thing you want to be able to portray is authentic, you know, strong, powerful Black women, but also at the same time the struggles that these women have been going through from way back in slavery times up until now.
It's weird. It's like she wanted to take the institutional dance part out of it. So it was more really like the story and the intention. Like seeing you about to prepare for something, it's like, no, it should just be the story. You know, so it's like every step means something to you.
It's an amazing process also to think about your growth in this piece. Like, I will never forget, it was probably 2008 at City Center was my first time ever performing Cry. But back then, we did it in sections. So it was 3 women. And I remember performing with Linda Celeste Sims and Brianna Reed. And Linda would usually do first section. I would typically do the second section, and Brianna would do the third. And then, of course, you know, all 3 ladies come out for the skirt part at the end. And I think back then, how, like, for me, I was pulling more from other people's experiences. And, like, social media wasn't really as big either back then. So I wasn't hearing about, you know, Black Lives Matter and all these unarmed men and women and children of color who were being killed, you know, by police. And so I was going off of more so like my mother's experiences with her sons and not really my own. Whereas now I'm also a mom of 2, and they don't tell you when you become a mother, you know, you think it's just all pretty, you know, oh, I'm going to have kids, I'm going to raise them to be the best, you know, people they can be. But it also comes with a buttload of anxiety. And then, you know, I think of all these men and children and women, like just the other, a couple of weeks ago, we had to come into rehearsal, and I just heard about Dwante Wright. I was literally crying on my way and talking to myself and like screaming. I just needed a release, and I'm so grateful that we are in this process of cry right now, because that helped me trying to continue to have faith and hope that there will be brighter and better days. But then it's at the same time, it's all this anxiety, because it's like, okay, my children are brown, and what are their experiences going to be like? What would I do if I was in this case? And I think about their mothers and how they continue to fight for justice, knowing what the outcome, typically turns out to be like.
It's so crazy. I know this ballet was a gift to Mr. Ailey for his mother, and so amazing of him to recognize the weight and the pressure that are put on mothers, Black mothers in this country specifically, even to this day. The fact that, like, Dante Wright, George Floyd, we see Trayvon Martin, we see the mothers who are the ones that we want to hear from. And it's like a club that you never want to be in.
Yeah.
But, like, sometimes I needed to come into the studio and run and cry.
Yeah.
And just perform it and to let it out, because it was therapy. It's traumatic seeing, Black and brown bodies continuously through the decades, through the generations, and then not get justice. But to have a job, and I don't even like to call this a job, it's like our career.
Yes.
We get to come in and take what we experience from the outside, from our personal lives, from what's going on globally, from coronavirus, and just let out our frustrations through the gift of dance. And specifically, this piece. Because, you get to go through, like, the sorrows, the frustration, the anger, to, like, still revving yourself up to be like, there's still hope. And then at the end, you get to have, like, this joy fest because you need it after that journey. It's, like, physically exhausting. Absolutely. What is it? 16, 17 minute solo.
Yeah.
Including those bows, because you got to breathe through the bows. But also, like, emotionally exhausting. To be able to switch, like, emotions through 16, 17 minutes focused, like, straight, and to, like, believe it so much that it shows physically, because we don't speak, we use our bodies to communicate.
Yeah.
Boy, you are really spent when that curtain goes down,
right?
not only physically, but you need a second to breathe mentally and emotionally, because you really just took yourself on a journey. As hard as it may sound, it's so rewarding to be like, I did that, I come from a line of women who have done that.
I feel like whenever I first saw these incredible women who came before us perform this, I never realized how exhausting it was, because they made it look so effortless, and you definitely could see their story come across clearly. And that's every time we perform it, or every time I perform it, that's all I hope for when that curtain comes down, is that someone or the audience connected with what I was trying to say.
You know what is like a favorite moment of mine?
Tell me.
It's when I might not be doing it, but I observe when other women are preparing to perform Pride. I always look at them right before. Like, I say my congratulations, married, you're going to do great, way in advance.
Right.
Because you never know how long a person needs to mentally detach from everyone to be able to go through that journey. Like, I love sitting in the wings and seeing people, like, close their eyes. You close your eyes and you hold your cloth and you stand on stage. Like, I like to rub the stage and, like, bless the stage.
I've noticed you do that.
Just let my steps be sure and my attention be true. But, like, get yourself in that mental space. And I love watching the women, with the curtain down. Like, that is such an honest moment that is so intense and powerful to view, that by the time the music goes and they open that cloth, it's like whoosh. You see the story, you see everything they built up through rehearsals, through what they've gone through as a person, what's going on in the world, frustrations, joy, everything. You see it come out in that first second when you can see their face.
And that's what that piece requires, because those first couple of steps with you holding that cloth are, I think, one of the most powerful moments in the dance. But I mean, wow, 50 years this piece has been around.
And it's still necessary.
It's still relevant.
It's still relevant.
And I think it will continue to stay relevant. I really do.